Hi everyone, my name is Shona and I'm Miss Atlantic London. When I was 23, I was told that I had dyslexia, and I would have to say it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. Up until then, I always wondered if there was something wrong with me, if something was missing, if there was a part of my brain. I felt stupid, I felt frustrated. I went through school, I came out with pretty low GCSEs except for art and music. And I went into college, and I always wondered why everybody else's assignments were bigger than mine. Why is it that, they seem to get so much information and I wasn't? And it really, really frustrated me. I would sit in class and they would tell us what we had to do. And then as soon as I got home, I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'd look at workbooks and I would understand what I was reading. Went through, got into university, and it just got harder and harder. I couldn't take notes. I was too busy thinking, oh, how do I spell this? How do I spell this? I had problems with spelling things like who and how and there. And the small things, and it was so, so frustrating. Then I went to a conference, and it was the unit that helps with like learning, and they talked about dyslexia. Up until then, I didn't really know much about dyslexia. At school, they told us dyslexia was only in boys, so it never even occurred to me that I could be dyslexic. And then she gave us this pamphlet on yellow paper, and she said, if three of these things are a problem for you, then come and see us. I looked at the pamphlet and all but three things affected me. So I went and I found out I was dyslexic, and it just made a massive difference in my life because it suddenly meant I wasn't stupid, and there was a way. I just saw things differently. I just heard things differently, and there was a way in which that I could make things better. So I went back to college. I redid my maths and my English, and I now have a B and a C. Since then, I find that having dyslexia is like a superpower. I think it's absolutely amazing. I told everybody that had dyslexia, and I'm not embarrassed to tell people I'm dyslexic. But it's not easy. There are still times, there are still days where I just sit and look at my computer. I'm writing every day, and I make silly mistakes like sending emails out with yours sinisterly instead of yours sincerely. But I have strengths in other things. I have strengths in arts. So dance and art and music is always been my strong point. So I use those things. I use my long-term memory, my visual, my in my ability to be able to visualize and see pictures. As how I've learned how to spell who. I can actually picture the Doctor Who sign, the logo on how to spell who, and little ways like for because big elephants can always understand little elephants, little things like that. So I never saw dyslexia as being a negative thing, and I've made sure that I was completely visible. And I will say to anybody who has dyslexia and does feel invisible, you can do so much more than you think you can. And it's not a bad thing, it's an amazing thing. We are amazing.